Hey, welcome in everybody to another partscountergurus.com podcast. My partner in crime over here, Keith,
Hi,
and
Mom.
we're gonna we're gonna
Actually, Mom,
talk
if you're
about
watching
a
this, we uh
um.
we need to talk about how you figured that out.
phew, yeah,
I
was
digress.
it in what was it in a? Never mind. We got a hot topic today, and I will tell you right now that this is very, very close to the heart for Keith.
Probably close to my
Um,
cockles too, but uh I'm fired up about this, and it's been several weeks since it happened. Uh just know that the amount of animation you're about to witness is after several weeks of cooling off. Um so so can I just get right into this? Is that okay?
You can, and what I would like for everybody to understand before we start, I have taken insurance out, and things could get broken. Um, just saying. So, just this is an awareness topic. So get ready, folks.
so
Strap it in.
yeah. Yeah, okay. So my wife, I have one of those. Um,
I do too.
yeah. Uh, we have a yeah. You know what? I don't. There's no point in trying to hide. We have a Lexus, and it's a year old, and the maintenance light popped on about a month back, and she took it in and said my, and the guy goes, yeah, it's your 15,000 mile service reminder. And she's thinking, and she actually asked him, like, it's due for an oil change. And the guy was like, well, no. And what I always tell her is, this is a paid service. I want to know, and this is true of my cars too. What are you going to do? Like, I'm not just going to hand you the keys to my car and a blank check and go, yep, do it because the light came on. Like, I want to know what you're doing.
So, one quick question before you go any further: is this something that you prepaid, or it was a suggested benefit by the dealership
No,
or by the
no,
manufacturer?
it's just, it's the car's still got a warranty on it, but they don't cover the service or maintenance after the first one. I think it is. Now, other manufacturers do it differently. Everybody's different, but in this case, um, and so I was out of town, and she said, well, I just, because normally I'd just be the guy. I'd call them up and go, what are you doing? And she goes, they were very polite, which is another podcast topic. The minute you start calling me sir at a dealership, I just don't trust you. But I digress. Okay. Um, so she just had him do it, and it was like $160, and whatever, and I think they rotated the tires, and I actually don't know what they did. So
Well, let's be clear. This was not complimentary.
correct, we paid for it. Okay. So I'm going through the paperwork about a week after it happened, and I keep maintenance record just because if we ever sell the car or whatever, I like to know, and sometimes I forget, so I can go back and look and go, oh yeah, we changed the oil like 2,000 miles ago, we're good. So as I'm looking at this maintenance record, and they provide you with, it's called a vehicle inspection, and it is right here.
We've
Okay.
all seen these. We've
Yep.
all seen these people. Everybody, when you go in for service, typical run
Yeah.
around the vehicle, spot checks. If there's anything jumping out,
Yep.
they mark it,
That's right.
communicate it.
So
Yep.
they've got this little, like, the little grid here that says, it's their legend, and it says if it's green, everything's okay. If it's yellow, it requires further attention, and if it's red, it requires immediate attention. So it's just like a stoplight. You've got green, yellow, red, right? So 100% greens right here on this checklist. Now, I've got my hand over this because it's got our home address on it, and, I don't want any creepy people chasing me down. But that's it right there, okay? And all green, right? So I'm looking at this, and I just looked through it, and on this list is windshield washer spray, wiper operation, and wiper blade. Now, about a month before my wife took the car in, the washer pump on the front windshield wasn't working. And I drove it and noticed, and I went, hey, is that, and she goes, yeah, it hasn't been working. And I went, all right. So I go out, put some washer fluid in it. It's overflowing. It's so full. So I went, well, that's not the problem. So, go back and test it again, not working, right? So, car's under warranty, but we just haven't had time to deal with it. And then she took this thing in, and I went, well, did they say anything? And she goes, no. And I said, well, did you say anything? And she goes, no. And I'm like, son of a gun. I didn't actually use the word gun, but this is this dealership, or as I like to call them, stealership, basically telling us they did stuff they did not do, because on this checklist it says, once again, windshield washer spray, wiper operation, and wiper blade. So that tells me when he checked it green, he tested that washer spray. And clearly he did not.
Right.
So at this point, I'm like, all right, stay calm. All right, little voice inside my head. Call the guy up. Call the service department up. Tell them, basically take them through this, just like I took our audience through it. And this is what the guy says to me. He goes, well, she didn't mention anything to us about it. And I almost lost it at that point.
Oh, man, putting the blame on the wife.
And I said, look, my man, I said, when you provide me with a list of things that you say you do, I don't have to tell you if it's on that list that it needs attention. You're telling me, because you're giving me a checklist and it's attached to my receipt that you charged me for these services.
There are so many things wrong with this.
Busted. So I didn't accuse anybody. This is what I said. I said, so either one of two things happen. Either he's checking stuff off that he actually didn't check, or, well, actually, I don't know what the other possibility would be, because that's the only one I can think of, but maybe there's a possibility that I'm missing. I'm not blaming anybody, but you tell me, right? Because you're saying you did it, and I'm telling you, and oh, by the way, I went outside and checked it after I looked at this to make sure, because I thought, well, maybe they did fix it. No, still broken. So, first of all, I got a real problem trusting these clowns, because they hide behind the factory service badge, and I will tell you this guy, this technician, whose name is right here, will never touch my car again, because you have violated my trust.
Lost a customer. Lost a customer, people.
I don't have a choice till it's out of warranty, but let me...
Yes, but there are other dealerships.
They're owned by the same in our city.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
there ought to be
there are only two. So here's my first question of probably several to you, Jay, is to our audience who maybe has a situation. I know you've got a Mini Cooper, so you've got a BMW product, and they do this a lot. Like, they do their inspections, and what options do we have? Like, let's just say it's your wife, right? Mm-hmm. And a service light comes on. How do you handle that?
I would do this, well, in a sense of it being inspected prior to me finding out it came on, or just in general. If a check engine light comes on, I'm running it in immediately.
Yeah, well, let's call it a maintenance due light, if there is such a thing.
Oh, a maintenance due light.
Yeah.
If there's a maintenance due light, we immediately take it in and have them explain to us exactly what they're supposed to be doing. So the bottom line is while you're standing in front of that service writer, have him explain to you exactly in detail what they are doing.
Okay.
It's your right to do that.
So let's role play for a minute. Can we role play? I'll be the
absolutely.
I'll be the service writer. That's the guy that you see when you pull the car into the service bay,
sure.
And he's behind a computer. All right, let's get some car noise ambience going on here. Let's make this real. I want you to feel like, it's actually happening. All right. So we're in the garage. All right.
So we're driving down to the dealership, and oh, honey, the service light's on. We should get over there. Let's get over there now.
Okay.
Please turn in. Yeah. What kind of car are you driving, man?
Oh, equipment malfunction. Hang on. Ooh, I got
I
lost
feel
there in
like
the street.
Jim. I feel like Jim Cantori on the Weather Channel in a wind machine.
All
You
right,
know?
all right. In all seriousness, so you pull into the service bay, okay? And you say my maintenance light is on, okay?
My maintenance light is on.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. What can you do for me?
Well,
What should I do?
we'll get you scheduled here. What's your first name?
Name's Jay.
Okay. And you want to leave it with us now, or you want us to schedule?
I can leave it with you now, but I need to wait. Is that something I can do?
Oh yeah, sure, yeah, no problem.
Okay. You got any coffee?
Yeah, we got got a whole room full of coffee and
Some
maybe
some
a few snacks.
some
and
like
that
free
sort of stuff.
Cliff Bars?
Just yeah, sure. Just I need you to sign right here. Says you read everything, you agreed to all these charges, and then you can hand me the keys, and we'll get you squared away.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Oh, can you tell me what you're gonna do?
Oh yeah, well it's just the 15,000 mile it's just the 15,000 mile schedule maintenance.
What's the cost on that?
It's like 150 plus tax.
And what are you gonna do?
But just the 150. It's just whatever it's scheduled to do.
But I don't know what that is.
Oh well, it's we just these rotate times, just stuff like that.
Oh, really? Okay. And will I have a detailed inspection report at the end of that of what
Oh yeah,
might
yeah,
be wrong? Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We give all
All right.
that.
All right.
These aren't the
Okay.
droids you're looking for.
Okay. Gotcha. Understood. All right. Well, get started on it.
Okay.
Boo, boo, boo.
So yeah, so that is literally, and my wife told me, she goes, they were nice, but I just felt railroaded, and I went, well, duh, they're just, it's a quick snatch and grab, man. It's a cash grab. They're just.
Well, let's face it. Nobody likes to put a dark connotation on anything like this. But let's face it. Typically, when women walk into dealerships, there is that tendency to just assume that they don't expect any explanation.
I think it's expanded beyond that now. I think they
Yeah,
try to intentionally
they
just sort of smoke and mirrors, hide behind.
They take advantage.
Yeah,
they take advantage is what they do.
So,
and this is why we're having this podcast, right?
So you're right. So you're saying, basically at that point where you said, "So tell me exactly what you're going to do." That's where you plant your flag, right?
That's it.
And you
Absolutely.
go, just show me, or if you're not going to tell me, and it's a nominal charge like 150, then at least give me a list when you're done, which you did ask for. I think that is probably the key takeaway. So would you agree?
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
And so where we are kind of in the story is after I called the guy up, they said, yeah, we'll, bring it back in. We'll take a look. We'll, and look, I'm not asking for anything other than you do what I paid you to do and you said you would do. I'm not asking you to fix it. I'm asking you to look it over, because at this point I don't know what they did and did not check on that list, because it kind of looks to me like he just went down the line and went check, right?
Stamp on it.
Yep.
That's it. Put it in the file. Put it on your records.
Which they say they are going to do, and I think we've got a follow-up scheduled. It took several voicemails, and
Well, unfortunately, it took that to have them do the right thing.
Yeah.
If they'd have done it the first time and did what they say they were going to do, and what the whole intent of an inspection like that is to give you insight into things that need attention. And if you don't need any attention, then that's great. But let's just face it, if you had been in a situation and something had splattered all over the windshield and you couldn't wash it off and cause an accident, that's a problem.
Now it's a safety issue, right? So
it's a real issue.
And look, I'm sure some of you are gonna, when I say what I'm about to say, I'm gonna immediately get put into the old man category for this rant. But look, I don't have time to pay you to do a job and do the job. It's one or the other. And this is what makes people not trust you. If you work for a dealership and you're listening to this, This is it. You got to knock this
Exactly.
crap off. If I'm
That's
paying you
it.
to do a job, you got to do it. If
That's
I'm
right.
paying you to do a job and then I got to come around and call you and call your service manager and then call him again because you didn't call me back and then call him again because you didn't call me back and then finally get something on the books and now I got to take the car back up there and I'm out of, I can't work because I'm, up there doing whatever you got to have me do. And now, I mean, look, it has cost me 3 times as much as I paid you to do the job.
Yep.
Do it right.
Absolutely.
Take pride
Yeah.
in what you're doing. I'm not quite done with this rant yet. Hang on. And maybe if you do that consecutively over the course of several years, you will regain my trust and the trust of those in the same boat with me. Most of them are in our audience. And you'll get that business. That's it, right? You want the business? Stop freaking calling me sir. Just fix my car and do what I paid you to do. Okay? I don't need you to call me sir. All right.
Okay, sir. Can I ask you to settle down?
I'm going to take some blood pressure medicine.
Okay.
Turn it over to you for a minute.
Okay, so look, guys, here's the bottom line. I'm someone who was in that side of the business, and all you're doing is giving a black mark against the industry. This is why people don't trust you. You shouldn't do that. Do exactly what you say you're going to do. And if something's wrong with my vehicle or my wife's vehicle, you better let me know, because I'm coming after you if you don't do it right.
Okay, so I have a question for you, and it pertains to this, but I want to paint a picture first. So, and I know everybody's different. Did you see the movie? It was one of the Toy Story movies. Have you seen the?
I think I saw the first one. I'll admit it.
So there's a scene, and I'm sure somebody will fill us in on our website or email or social media or something. But one of the Toy Stories where the toys get in some luggage at the airport and they go behind the counter. Did you see that one? And it's like this ridiculously elaborate, just chaotic scene of just there's no possible way that could ever work well, right? And it's for comedic intent, right? So when I take a car to the dealership, I literally close my eyes and I hear a ringmaster, and I see different sections of the dealership. You got the you got the sales guys and you got the service guys in the back, and you got the guys outside washing their doing prep work, and I just hear this is what I hear. I hear, and oops, that's the wrong one. I hear clown horns, man. I hear clown horns. That's it. Sorry, buddy. I hear the clown horn, and it's this one. That's the one. That's what I hear.
There you go.
And I close my and I know the minute that I walk away, I know those guys are just they're lighting the swords on fire and throwing them up in the air, and they're trying to see who can in my car in the backseat of my. Okay, so
I can read those guys like a book.
That whole vision of mine of the circus, that didn't happen in a vacuum. And what I mean by that is I was conditioned to draw that conclusion in my head somehow. Okay? Now here's my question for you. All right. Because you said something to me a while back when I told you about this that I didn't know. My question to you is, if these shenanigans continue, and this is more for the benefit of our audience, what can I do? So, for example, just to reset the scene here, I have a car that's under warranty by, this happens to be a Lexus or a Toyota product, but this could happen with Honda or Ford or whatever.
Any of them.
So let's say, if you've got a Honda and you're getting a bad, and I live in the Nashville area, so there's a couple Honda dealerships, but maybe they're owned by the same company, and maybe you can't get any traction. What options do I have, man? What can I do?
Well, first of all, you are a consumer, okay? And as a consumer, you're protected by a number of entities, Better Business Bureau being one. Just remember that they're always on your side in that regard. But most importantly, dealerships love accreditation, manufacturer accreditation. So if they are if their business practices are less than desirable and you report that, they will get investigated by the OEM.
Okay.
So if you want to fight that battle, that's where you go.
So those surveys that you always
Oh
get,
yes,
is that a good place to start?
absolutely. Online surveys, and don't just click through it. Be honest, because I will guarantee you, if anybody cares and they read that, they will respond. If they don't, then there's your answer.
So if Toyota sends me a survey and I fill it out, that actually is that nonsense, or does it actually have some sort of bearing on the dealership?
It is no different than exercising your right to vote in this country. It's your word, it is your voice. If you are not being treated fairly, that's your voice to get in there. I mean, bottom line, it is not nonsense. They want to know how you're being treated. That's why Hyundai, Ford, Chevrolet, they all send these out after services. So it's very important that you take the time to fill those out. I do that even for a haircut, you know, and plus I get coupons.
So, um, so, sorry, man, I'm having fun with it. So, if you don't have a survey, usually you can look online under, if it's a Ford, you want to look for consumer relations or consumer affairs, right? So if you have to
Absolutely.
Google, Ford consumer relations, start with something like that. Consumer affairs or consumer relations is a good place to start if you're going to
Right.
Google. And that might give you a phone number or an email address. So
Absolutely.
you said something else to me, Jay, that I did not know. And I think I was, you've painfully had to listen to this story now half a dozen times. But the first time I told you about that checklist, you said, "You remember what you told me?"
You refresh my memory. It's been a couple
Well,
weeks. What
I
I say?
said, I mean, this is I mean, I'm paying Lexus to do all this stuff. It's their car. I would assume that they know the car. And you said, dude, you could. Everybody and their brother does those for you now, and most of them do it for free as part of a multi-point
Oh,
inspection.
that part of it. We talked about so many different things, but that's correct. These types of businesses, they want more business. And these types of inspections really benefit the consumer in a lot of ways, but it also can benefit the
Yeah.
service center in a number of ways. You go up on a rack to do, say, a free rotation of your tires. They get the tires off. If they're smart, they're going to look at your brakes and they're going to let you know, hey, you've got about 30% left. You might think about bringing it back. Those are the kinds of things that you can get done for free, and you should utilize those. And those are the ones that will probably go the extra mile for you when you get into their service center.
So what you might want to look for is look for places that offer a free multi-point inspection. Okay?
Yes.
That's your key term. And then ask them, call them up, or maybe it's on their website, what does that include? And some of them is going to be 10 things, and some of them it's going to be close to 100 things. And some of them are no big deal, like checking your windshield wiper blades to make sure that they're not, shot.
And
But
don't wait till it starts raining to replace those, by the
that's
way.
that's another podcast, and it
Yep.
is. We're
Yep.
we're gonna get into that one soon. But some of it's checking the brake pads, making sure the thickness is that you're it in case you didn't hear the wear indicator that's going squeak 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 squeak. So it varies by location, but ask them for a list. Try to get as much as you can out of that list. And look, they're going to try to get as much as they can out of you, and know that that's their game in most cases, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. You don't have to do any of it. You've got your checklist though when you walk away.
I had a great experience in my move, and I think I had spoke to you about it. I got this nice mailer from a local garage here, service center here, and it was a free oil change. Wow, man, I need an oil change. How can they do that? I mean, that's giving stuff away. What are they trying to do here? It's marketing, people. It's good marketing. It's paying for your customer. So, needless to say, I've developed a relationship with those guys. I have my oil changed there every time. I have my tires rotated and balanced there every time. I also have had some major work done by those guys to the tune of a few $1,000s. And they were Johnny on the spot getting it fixed. They told me every detail. They never called me sir. They called me by my first name. My name is Jay,
Can we
not sir.
do a podcast on that, by the way? I want to dive into that a little bit.
Well, with my prior military background, I would love to.
Okay.
Don't call me sir. Don't call me sir. I work for a living.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay. All right. Okay. So everybody feel like we got a good takeaway here on how to handle the maintenance requirements and scheduled maintenance on your vehicle. Anybody show of hands? Everybody? I don't think they can see you.
Nope. But you can, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. I'm counted. So, well, look, here's what I take from this. We have a responsibility too, as a consumer. Don't take for granted that the folks on the other side of the desk, when they're taking your keys out of your hand, are going to be 100% thorough. It does not hurt their feelings when you ask questions. If it does, then ask as many as you can so that person will leave the building and lose their job because you don't want them there.
Yeah, and honestly, if they are put out and that becomes a pattern of this particular place, you need to find someplace else. I mean, I wouldn't even.
That's it. Those places should have the most patient people in place to you want that because they're going to sometimes deliver some news that you don't want to hear. You've got a repair that's going to cost you $3,000. Yeah. So you want to have some sort of personable experience, but professional experience. So that's good advice.
Okay. Well, thanks for that. I feel better. I'm a little bit more calm. I guess we'll mention this in an upcoming podcast in terms of the follow-up and how it goes, just in case anybody's curious.
I want people's stories.
Yeah, so if
they should,
that's a
good story.
Good reminder. So if you have any stories like this that are juicy, there's a contact us page on our website, and our website is what, Jay?
PartsCounterGuru.com.
Yep, that's right. PartsCounterGuru.com. Or you can do gurus.com with an S, either one. The right along the top, it says contact. And you can click on that link and you can send us a note or a link to a note or a link to a video or whatever it is that you want to share. So other stuff, can I go ahead and tell them where to... So obviously the podcast,
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
The best way that you can show us your appreciation right now and the absolute best way to help us is not going to cost you a cent. And that is to tell a friend about the podcast or the website or both. We
want subscribers.
Yep.
We want subscribers.
Subscribe to our podcast. Tell a friend. Get them to subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Parts Counter Gurus. There's a link to it on our website, which is what again, Jay?
PartsCounterGuru.com.
Yep. Okay.
Or Parts Counter Gurus.
Either one will get you there. That's right. So you can subscribe to our videos. We've got a fan page, partscounterguru.com/fan. If you sign up to become a fan and you register, we do a drawing every 250 subscriptions for an Amazon gift card. So pretty good odds there of winning something. And it just gives you the general good feeling that you're a part of our network. We will not sell your information, but we will contact you if there's some upcoming live events. We'll give you a notification. Industry relevant stuff, links to our website if there's something big going on. Anytime we want fan feedback. So again, partscounterguru.com/fan. We're on Patreon as well. It's patreon.com/partscountergurus with an S. Facebook.com/partscountergurus. And what am I forgetting here? Anything?
I think you got it. I think you got it. I think we need to go away for the day and come back strong with another topic or two.
Okay.
But we need your help, fans. Please, we want your input.
Yep.
What do you want to hear?
Use that contact link. Tell us what you're itching for. We will give preferential treatment, and I say this shamelessly. If you are a Patreon supporter, we will give you preferential treatment in terms of telling us what you want. And there is a potential there for live guest. We'll put you on the air with us if you're.
That'd be awesome.
If you can keep it G-rated. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So until next time, that is Jay. I am Keith. And remember to keep it shiny side up, everybody.
Hello. We're in. PartsCounterGuru.com. Welcome, everybody.
Just breathe in that carbon monoxide.
Oh, man.
It's
You smell that?
It smells like death.
Oh, I love it.
All right. Just playing.
You got an exhaust on that thing? It's kind of.
I don't know, man, but I sure am sleepy.